Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to InfernoKun back with another Batman the Telltale series video once again. So I want to go ahead and discuss two important characters to Batman, and that of course is Oz or Oswald Cobblepot, and of course Harvey Dent in the future that they have in the episodes to come. And I believe Telltale, I want them to do some kind of creative spin on these characters, and basically, you know, of course with Oswald and Harvey, those are two important characters as of right now. So I of course have a video where me and Slickmouth actually discussed this in one point of our discussion about episode 2. We brought up Oz and of course Harvey in our chat, so if you guys want to see that video, go ahead and click the annotation on screen or of course in the description box below. But anyways, I digress. Let's start off with Oz because he has more of a connection with Bruce at the moment because he's been childhood friends and he saw him at the reception, or at least the, you know, in his manor, but never actually approached him until he met them in Cobblepot Park. And of course here, Oz, he lost his mom, then he lost his dad as well, and the park actually went to complete crap, and of course he is left with no money, or at least, you know, no thing. He turned to a life of crime, and he's been doing bad things ever since. Now here it seems like, okay, Bruce seems to be childhood friends with, of course, Oz, so it's kind of a connection there. Even though Oz seems to be sort of a bad guy, he's been doing some illegal stuff. So where is it going with this? And he plans on having some sort of revolution in Gotham, and he wants Bruce to be on his side when it comes to that. Now, of course, in the little slide for episode 3, it says New World Order, and of course you have Oz there with his cigar and his, you know, smirk on his face with Wayne Tower in the background, setting up some sort of premise. But it says, of course, with Gotham on the brink and Bruce under fire, a new generation of supervillains rise to prominence and threaten to overturn the traditional institutions of power. So what I can say is that Oz is definitely planning something. He actually met up with Bruce to actually convey his little, you know, warning about this new world order maybe, and what he's planning to do by, you know, breaking the windows of Gotham. And of course he said that Bruce might be the owner of these windows, and possibly that could interfere with basically, you know, what he wants to accomplish. So of course Bruce might be in his way, and he wants Bruce to basically be on his side whenever he decides to do this. So what is Oz actually planning on doing? I mean, for the most part, Oz and Bruce, they had a pretty similar childhood, I guess. You know, they lost both their parents in a way. Mostly Bruce had his parents killed, and of course, you know, Oz lost his father and basically, in a way, lost his mother as well. So they're kind of similar. They both lost, you know, their parents, but actually one turned to a life of crime while one wanted to go ahead and better Gotham. And of course, you know, Cobblepot actually ended up with not a lot of money. He lost his money whenever his family went away. And of course, you know, Bruce, he actually, you know, lives the good life in terms of, you know, being wealthy and having a strong part in Gotham. So what I'm saying with this is that could Oz be on his way to becoming a villain, a super villain, more like the Penguin? That's what he's known as or referenced as in various forms of Batman, and that's pretty much who he is, the Penguin. So could he be on his way to becoming the Penguin, and is there anything that we actually can influence to actually stop him from becoming a villain? Because pretty much, you know, Oswald, he pretty much doesn't really have a problem with, you know, just anybody in general in Gotham except Falcone, because Falcone might have been one of the factors that destroyed his family. So obviously he has some kind of personal vendetta with Falcone. And of course his family park was actually, you know, pretty much, you know, wrecked and everything else. So he wants to improve that and get rid of all the crime there as well. That's pretty much what he actually wants to do. Those are his motives, but I'm wondering basically by what means is he going to, you know, do all this? Is he actually going to try to raise power through criminal means, or what else will he plan on doing? So that's pretty much what I think is going to go down in Oswald's part. But let's go ahead and talk about Harvey Dent, because he's pretty much a big part as well. He is running for mayor of Gotham, and he wants to make a big change in terms of what, you know, actually happens, because Mayor Hill, who is the current mayor, is of course a corrupt mayor, and he doesn't want to have someone like that in office. And of course Harvey Dent, who is looked up upon from everybody in Gotham, or at least, you know, some form of the people in Gotham who thinks he can actually make a difference, because Mayor Hill is pretty much, you know, influenced by Falcone by the means that he is corrupt. And pretty much, you know, Harvey, he wants to win, and he wants to win, you know, whether it be not the legitimate way, because he actually wanted Falcone to be on his side, because he knows that Falcone has a huge, you know, influence on who actually wins the election. So if Falcone wasn't on Harvey's side, then he probably wouldn't even win the election. Now, of course, Carmine at the end of episode 1 is imprisoned and has a ton of evidence up against him. I can say that Carmine, he has a strong influence even from prison, and even if he gets out of prison, depending on, how good of his lawyers are, even if they can actually break through the amounts of evidence they have against him, he may still have some kind of influence. Whether you go visit him in prison for a chat, he probably might even threaten to use his support for Mayor Hill instead. Now, you saw how much Harvey wants to win. He was planning on, using FalCone, or at least, siding with him to win the election. And now in the teaser for episode 2, he's actually cutting ties with Bruce Wayne because of the supposed evidence they have against his family and Falcone. So I'm wondering if Harvey will actually still want to use Falcone if he has any kind of influence at all in the election. Will he actually still go to Falcone to basically win? And I'm actually wondering if we can actually have Harvey win as mayor or actually lose. And if that actually happens, if he loses, will he potentially become Two-Face? That's a big question because, of course, Harvey Dent is known as Two-Face. And I'm wondering if we'll actually get to see the Two-Face side of him in the game. And I remember in an interview that he mentioned that he could actually possibly maybe become Two-Face. And in my video with Slickmouth, actually went ahead and thrown out the idea of what if we can actually influence, who actually becomes the villain, Oswald or Harvey. Because of course the Penguin or the Two-Face. It would be very interesting because of course this is a choice making game and choices do matter, right, Telltale? So why not make it matter in a way like this, actually having, one villain pop up if you make a certain amount of choices, or kind of how you feel towards, either Oswald or Harvey could actually influence their fate in the future. So what do you guys think about that? Either having, Harvey as Two-Face or Cobblepot as Penguin, depending on your choices. Now, I feel like they're actually setting up more towards, Oswald as the Penguin because he actually kind of warned Bruce about this revolution that's going to happen. So it's kind of setting up more towards Oz becoming the Penguin. But as of right now, Harvey, he hasn't really had his driving force. But of course Oswald has his driving force at the moment, so I'm wondering what's going to happen. We still have, of course, 4 more episodes to go, so we have a lot of time to go ahead and shape our story, hopefully, on what's going to happen. So, and also about Harvey, I wonder if we'll see more of Harvey with Selena, because of course they are a thing as of right now, and that could actually influence, Harvey based on how you interact with Selena. So that'd be very, very cool. As we mentioned in our discussion with Slickmouth once again, we talked about that a lot, and that was pretty interesting, so go ahead and watch that. That's enough from me, my discussion about, of course, Oswald and Harvey. If you guys did enjoy, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys have not already for more Batman, the Telltale series content. And of course, comment down below your predictions about what's going to happen to Oswald and Harvey as well. I'm InfernoKun, and I'll catch you guys next time on Batman.